Hello, this is Sensor Gambino here with a new stream. In this stream, I'm going to be going over the event week for this week from very early Thursday in Grand Theft Auto Online. Still a couple days left in the event week, because I'm doing this very early Monday. But yeah, starting off with the title, there's the new Western Reaver, which is a new motorcycle that was added with the contract DLC. As per usual with these streams, I'll be customizing it near the end of the stream, so that's where I'll be customizing it. In the earlier parts, I'll just be talking about podium vehicle like discounts and stuff like that. I actually got the vehicle. I already have an Infernus Classic though, I think, so that's not actually helpful for me.
The Diamond Casino and Resort would like to congratulate the winner of a brand new car.
Yeah, I think I already had that, quite frankly. I think as like a Prime Game discount or something, back when they actually did vehicle discounts, I got that, but I guess I got another one. And this vehicle shop is at EB on Military Motorsport website, and obviously a little preview, a couple discounts and stuff. Alright, here it is, the Pegasi Infernus Classic from the Cunning Stun Special Vehicles Circuit Update. But yeah, by getting it, you save 915,000, plus if there's a livery on it, which it didn't really seem it had a livery on it, and then that would be like another like 28,000 or something. But yeah. Essentially, this Infernus Classic, for the cosmetic look of it, as far as I remember, is kind of like the Vice City Infernus Classic. But yeah, I think Infernus Classic, I think it's called that because it's basically the Vice City Infernus, but in Grand Theft Auto Online. So it's pretty cool for like the cosmetic of it and like the meaning of it and whatnot. But yeah, it's the lap time apparently, going off a roughly 1322 spreadsheet. It is 6th place for the Sport Classic class in a lap time for its lap time. So it can be okay to alright for Sport Classic races for a lap time, but it's not within like the top 5, it's just under top 5. I would say anything under top 10 is not worth using, but because it's within top 10, it can be okay, I suppose. And top speed apparently for it is a 13th place, so I wouldn't really bother with it for the top speed, at least when it comes to like a Sport Classic race. And yeah, by the way, anything I mentioned with the spreadsheet starting off this stream apparently is up to date with the latest update, so any placements will be actual, like, the actual placements, not counting, because yeah, I think all the, like, contract DLC vehicles were added to the spreadsheet I used. But anyways, time trial. The regular time trial here is Great Ocean Highway. Great Ocean Highway, I'm imagining, is this highway. I would imagine so. So it probably goes like over here and stuff like that. So I feel it could be kind of a good one for top speed. But going off the description, it could definitely be a pretty good one for the top speed. And obviously there's that slight bit of lap time definitely at the beginning because of where it starts and whatnot. But yeah. Good news actually with the top speed, there's actually a new #1 top speed motorcycle in the game, at least currently, and that is the brand new Western Reaver. It is a #1 top speed for the motorcycle class. So if it does have a lot of top speed, the Western Reaver could definitely be worth using, I would say. I believe the lap time for it is a 6th place, going off of the spreadsheet. So that's the placements of the Western Reaver. I decided to say the performance here because it's kind of relevant, I would say, with the time trials, because motorcycles are some of the most usable vehicles in time trials since there's no disabled traffic during a time trial or anything. But yeah, the Reaver is a number 6 for lap time, going off of roughly 1322 spreadsheet. So it's within the top 10 for lap time. Then the new Reaver is the number 1 top speed by a good chunk compared to the previous Manchester from a couple updates ago. So yeah, the Western Reaver, at least for now, could actually be very good for time trials, depending on how much straights and stuff there is. However, the best average motorcycle I would say to still use in a time trial would be the Body 801 if you want some good average lap time and top speed. Plus, the motorcycle for the Body 801 is only like 15,000 compared to like 1.9 million, like 2.4, 2.5 million with these new motorcycles that don't have as good of an average performance per se. But still, I think the Reaver definitely seems to have better performance than the Shinobi did, so that's interesting for that time trial. And I'll just show what the RC Bandito one is to kind of give some kind of go and whatnot. But yeah, it's back to the first RC Bandito time trial, which is Construction Site 1. And for a couple guides that could be good to watch on there, there's like a channel known as like GTA Men. I believe they do like RC Bandito time trial guides and whatnot with like commentary and stuff. They have about 200,000 subscribers, I think, so I imagine it's pretty reliable. And then there's GTA Series Videos, which is a multi-million subscriber channel, but they don't commentate on stuff, so you would just have to watch how they do the time trial. So that's a couple guides for like any time trial stuff, possibly premium race. Yeah, obviously I'll be going over to the Ellis Car Meet to show off the like test track vehicles, which is actually a couple interesting test track vehicles. They're finally starting to do some like more like interesting test track vehicles, because 2 of them are not actually like tuners for once, which is nice. They used to do like a one-off non-tuner like a couple other times, I think, with the test track vehicles, but there's definitely a couple different ones, and plus I think all of them are actually on like some kind of discount, I think. So they'll actually be worth kind of talking about. And then there's actually a pretty interesting prize ride as well, kind of. Because it's actually the first time they've done it, believe it or not. Even though it is a tuner, it was like the one tuner they never did as a prize ride before. It's definitely some pretty interesting stuff this time around with the vehicles and the car meet and whatnot. Also, speaking of the car meet, for the new PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and like S versions and stuff, there will be new vehicles and whatnot for those versions that can go to like how special works and whatnot, which is going to be pretty cool, I imagine. But yeah, as seen here, 2 of them are not actually tuners. I'm pretty sure they definitely stick out if it's store fun. But I'll start with the one that is a tuner, and that is the Emperor Vector. And the Emperor Vector is actually one of the top. It's actually one of the top couple options for lap time for the tuner subclass, which means it can be one of the better vehicles to use in like street and like pursuit races, because it's pretty good in lap time for that tuner subclass. However, though, the top speed is like the 2nd worst of the tuner vehicles, and this is at least before the contract came out. But I imagine the placements of all of them are basically the same, because all the tuners got nerfed, not just like certain ones of the contract update. So yeah, that should still be one of the best couple like lap times and one of the top couple worst top speeds for a tuner subclass vehicle. So just because it's a really good lap time, I think it's definitely a pretty alright pickup. And then I'll talk about the Peafister Astron and the Wagner here, both of which can actually be pretty alright, I'd say. I feel there's not really a bad, like, test track vehicle this time around. So I'll have to go to SUVs on the spreadsheet on my phone. I'm looking at it. Yeah, I think all these are actually on discount. Because most times none of these are on discount, but this time I think all of them are. Alright. But yeah. The Peafister Astron is a third place lap time apparently on Roughly 1322 spreadsheet, and then top speed, the Astron is fourth place, this SUV here. And it's a new vehicle from the contract DLC, so it's a very recent vehicle, and it is on some sort of discount. I believe it was actually on the like website when I was like scrolling through it. In fact, I think all these vehicles showed up like before the Infernus Classics. I think all those discounts were already like kind of shown there. And also, going off of the information they gave with the, like, Hal's, like, special works and stuff, I do believe I saw the Peafister Astron next to Hal with, like, those 4 different, like, vehicles in that one screenshot. So apparently it seems the Peafister Astron will be getting some new exclusive, like, engine upgrades and stuff like that when the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and, like, S versions come out. So it seems this vehicle might be able to perform better when the 9th generation versions of Grand Theft Auto Online come out, because I definitely think I saw this vehicle with like a few vehicles that Hal was standing next to with like the February like 4th like community like update announcement thing they did or whatever. I have a whole like 20-ish minute video on it and whatnot for more details on that and whatnot. But yeah, Astron apparently seems it will be getting like speed upgrades and whatnot that you can do like House Special Works, which will be in around a month, obviously, because it's coming out March 15th for the new 9th gen versions. And then the Bachi Wagner here is actually a supercar, and it's actually a pretty alright one. Just gotta find it real quick. But yeah, the Wagner is the 3rd place lap time for the supercar class, going off of Roughly 1322 spreadsheet. And top speed, the Wagner is a 12th place. So it is in the top 3 for supercars in terms of a lap time, which is pretty good. It's also a lot more affordable in a way than the like Benefactor Krieger and the like and the Progen Emirates. Yeah, Progen Emirates and Benefactor Krieger, those are like the couple that are above it, and they're like another $1 million to almost. So especially on discount, this might be like $2 million-ish, like cheaper than the other like top couple options right now. So it's a good like starting supercar in a sense. And I think since they're all on discounts, I'll look to see what like percents they're on discount right now, so I don't gotta talk about them later and whatnot, because I basically already said all of what's worth knowing. But yeah. The Emperor Vector here, that's a 30% off discount. Peafister Astron is also a 30% off discount. And again, it seems there will be new upgrades for the Peafister Astron when the new 9th generation versions of Grand Theft Auto 5 and on come out. So it definitely could be worth getting this on discount, because it seems it will get some new stuff with the 9th gen version. And this Wagner here is a 25% off compared to the 30% on these other two. So that's the percentages that all of them are on discount, and I also mentioned like what's worth knowing with them. So I would say the best buy probably Astron, because it's getting new stuff apparently for the 9th gen version. So I'm pretty sure I looked at like the grill and stuff like that, and it looked exactly like the Astron, I'm pretty sure, in the screenshot. Okay, I'm on this side. I'll go on this side then. But yeah, the new prize ride this time around is actually the first time it's actually been a prize ride, believe it or not. I definitely know they did the Growler before, but apparently they never did the Comet S2 until this event week. This is actually the first time they've done the PVIS or Comet S2 as a prize ride. So if you've been wanting this vehicle and you've been waiting for it as a prize ride, this could be a good opportunity for that, since it's apparently the first time they've done the Comet S2. Obviously, again, not to be confused with the Growler. And then you got Prize Ride Challenge. It's for the Pursuit series this time, which is the ones that require a minimum of 4 players, which is kind of annoying. And you have to place top 1 in a Pursuit series race for 3 days in a row. And yeah, obviously you most definitely won't be guaranteed to get first place on your first race unless you're really good compared to the other minimum couple other players. So I think because of the 4-player minimum player count on a pursuit race, combining that with the 3 days in a row, and then also having to be the first placement between that minimum 4 players, I really don't think it's a worthwhile challenge. And obviously the Comet S2 here, there's the brand new Cabrio version that came out with the contract DLC a few weeks ago or something. And that one actually performs better, because none of the Sport Tuner vehicles actually perform that good in its main classing, just the tuner subclass. I believe I remember looking on the spreadsheet that the Comet S2 Cabrio, the contract DLC version of the vehicle, is a 40th place lap time, which isn't really good. But you're getting the number 4 option if you get the Cabrio version instead of this hardtop version, so you are getting a 4th place top speed if you get the Cabrio version instead. And yeah, speaking of top speed, you used to be able to get the low grip tires lower in stance vehicle, and it would have a really crazy top speed. That was a very good incentive to get the Comet S2 in the past. But with the new contract DLC, with the nerfs they did to the tuner vehicles, you can no longer really get that crazy top speed that you could previously obtain with the Comet S2. So for that reason, I wouldn't really recommend going for it, because they basically nerfed the one thing that made the Comet S2 really worth getting with the contract DLC, when they nerfed the low grip tires and stuff like that. So honestly, it's not really that worth getting. It's not one of the top few lap time vehicles either, if I recall. I'm not necessarily too sure on the top speed. So the vehicle, I would say, is kind of I feel it's quite late for them to be doing the Comet S2 for the first time ever in the prize ride. I feel it should have been a prize ride sometime before. And how many prize rides they've repeated already at this point. But yeah, hopefully, since that's finally the 17th and final tuner that needed to be on the prize ride, hopefully they start doing more unique vehicles on the prize ride. I'd like to see some more civilian vehicles, like they did with the Click and then the Arden, I think, around the Festive Surprise, for example. I'd like to see stuff like that be put on the prize ride as well, not just purely tuners and whatnot. Maybe have one tuner in this area or as a prize ride, but every other vehicle I feel has started being some more unique vehicles at this point. I feel that would be a good feature for the Los Santos car meet. Though who knows, if the new vehicles that'll be coming out for the 9th gen versions, maybe those versions could somehow get some of those. That would be exciting. And now to talk about login rewards and money opportunities and stuff like that. Alright, this one goes kind of with the prize ride challenge, and that is for the pursuit races. Not street races, but just pursuit races. And I don't know if there's an indicator with it yet. There's not, apparently. There's no indicator for it, but there's a 2x LS car meet rep on Pursuit Series races, so these 7 Pursuit races have double reputation, if you want to get more levels for your car meet reputation. But I wouldn't really recommend doing the street or Pursuit races anymore. I would much prefer doing like the robbery, like contract finales or whatever. But yeah, like the robbery contract finales or whatever, those you probably want to be doing if you want to be getting reputation, because not only will you be getting good reputation, you'll also be getting good money, and that goes into stuff for later. I'll probably talk about all the auto shop stuff at the auto shop, because I do kind of want to go there to kind of show off what I'm talking about and whatnot. There's a free Born X raised white tee for all players. All players will get the white Born X raised tee upon jumping in, like logging in to the game, obviously, for the event week. So just simply going on the game, and that's it. Don't just stay on a property though. I think you have to go out of a property for like a second, and you can like change your clothes or something like that to make to like force a game save or something if you want to get like a clothing unlock as fast as possible. And there's a couple more like money opportunities on the pause menu. I'm gonna go green on the Reaver here. But yeah, there is 2 times money in RP on the transform races. But yeah, transform races are some of the more interesting type of races in the game, because these actually require owning like customized versions of certain vehicles if you want to have the best chance possible at winning these transform races. So if you want to play like a certain map, I would check the vehicles and make sure you got like a custom version of like each vehicle if you want to do as best as possible. But yeah, because of all the very particular custom vehicles that you would need to get a good edge in these races, could make the entry quite annoying. But at the same time, if you have all those custom vehicles, you will have a very easy time on doing these races compared to some other people. So because of all the different variety of vehicles, all the different custom like engine upgrade stuff and whatnot you can get on these vehicles, if there's other players that don't have a certain vehicle customized, that's quite the advantage you can get. So I would say these are kind of the best like races that they could possibly do on Double Money RP, quite frankly, because of that. Didn't necessarily explain it the greatest, but I did what I could in there. And yeah, there's some returning adversary modes for a limited time, and stuff like they usually do these days. Alright, I think it's these 4 bottom modes that are in for a limited time only. But yeah, starting off they are bringing back Sumo 1 through 6 for a limited time only, and that's the one of the 4 that's on a 2 times money RP right now. But yeah, it's basically the same kind of mode as Sumo Remix, but instead of like stump parts and stuff, it seems to be like more like traditional like maps without like the crazy stump parts and whatnot. And there's one map that does have a player count difference here, and that is Sumo 4, which is actually on the Maze Bank. Because I'm guessing kind of only 4 players can fit on the Maze Bank. So this is kind of the worst map I would say to play if you're kind of going for money and stuff, because I'm assuming the more players in the mode, the more money you can get and whatnot. So if there's one map to avoid for Sumo for the 2x my RP, it would be Sumo 4, I would say. All the other ones support up to 8 players though. And honestly, I think this mode can definitely go pretty fast. And with adversary modes, I think the payouts, for the most part, are determined off the number of rounds and also like how long the mode lasts and whatnot. So certain modes might have more rounds that you can play than others, for example. And other modes, just because of how they play out and stuff, can last longer than other modes. I feel it is one of the quicker lasting kind of modes, because you basically just push other vehicles off of the area or whatever. And that's a pretty quick and simple task, I would say, in a sense. So yeah, for that reason, I would highly not recommend it. It's not going to be that great of a money opportunity compared to some other ones that I still have to mention still. And for other limited time adversary modes that they're bringing back for a limited time, there's the Vespucci Job. But yeah, Vespucci Job might allow you to use like custom Izzy Classics, I forget, which might be the only adversary mode that allows for custom vehicles. So it might be a good idea to have a custom Izzy Classic. Plus there's Izzy Classic races that might be vaulted, but they could do Izzy Classic races at some point, so having a custom regular Izzy Classic could be worth having anyways. But yeah, that's a mode that they're bringing back for a limited time only. And yeah, excuse me there if I burped, I don't know if I did, I forget though. But yeah. Till Death Do Us Part, I think it's very obvious why they brought this one back, because it's basically a Valentine's themed mode, and it's the month of February. And I'm not a big fan of this mode, quite frankly, but obviously if you want to play the regular maps, you can do so for a limited time. I think Till Death Do Us Part does have, like, interior versions, though, so that one, in a sense, is permanently available, just in, like, certain interiors only, though. So, like, Bunker has it. Diamond does not have it. But yeah. The missile base and bunker ones are always available, but those more like regular maps that are in the outside world, those ones are available for a limited time. And yeah, like I said, I'm not a big fan of this mode because you do actually need to you and your teammate need to survive in this one, not just yourself. But yeah, I think at minimum there's basically like 2 teams of 2 for like 4 players essentially. But yeah, essentially you and the other player in a single team is what's known as like a couple essentially. And you're supposed to like break up the couples obviously, and if you kill one person, the other person loses as well. So I'm not a big fan of that like concept in the mode, because it's kind of annoying getting punished if someone else on your team sucks. Like, in other modes, if someone sucks, you can at least still play the game and whatnot. But in this mode, if your other person dies, then you lose as well, essentially. As like a sacrifice kind of thing, or whatever. And then last but not least is Trapdoor 137. That's available for a limited time only. And as the name suggests, there's like some trapdoor like gimmick kind of thing, but aside for that, it's probably like a typical deathmatch, like team deathmatch kind of thing. If I remember this one being pretty fun. So I'd say really, if you want to play any of these, like at any moment, it could be worth playing them while they're back for a limited time only. Obviously in future event weeks, certain other ones might be on a money opportunity, so it might be worth waiting until other weeks. But if there was one, I would say that's not worth doing between the ones that are bringing back for a limited time. I'm assuming for the whole month of February, basically. I would say it's Till Death Do Us Part. That's not really too worth doing. Because of the like couple mechanic and being able to break up the couple, making both players lose. Either way, though, it is a pretty interesting twist. Either way, it is a pretty interesting twist on deathmatch, team deathmatch on the Till Death Do Us Part. But it's a very annoying one as well. And yeah, that was Sumo, and then Transform races. But there's still many opportunities to talk about, but I'm gonna go to the auto shop for that one. Because I want to explain something with one of them at least. And then I think from there it's gonna be like discounts pretty much, and that's it.
Shit is wavy. I got some nice ski back home.
And by the way, I didn't mention yet, but the Reaver is actually the very last vehicle that needed releasing for the contract DLC.
I'm on the clock. What you want? Some wheels?
But yeah, at least for the 8th generation versions of the game, the Reaver is the very last vehicle needing release. If people count the 5 to 10 vehicles for the upcoming House Special Works as contract or not.
I'll bring it by.
But yeah, those House Special Work vehicles are most definitely going to be exclusive to the 9th generation systems, or at least the upgrades or whatever, not necessarily the stock vehicles. But yeah, for those who don't know, there are vehicles that will be coming out for Expand Enhanced at launch, it seems. I wouldn't necessarily consider them part of the contract. I would probably just consider it as part of a launch of Expand Enhanced or something. So I would definitely say the Reaver here is the last contract vehicle. And yeah, it's not a Monitech. The last Monitech vehicle was the Granger 3600, so you can pretty much do any of the modifications, all of the modifications at anywhere really, as typical Los Santos Customs. Anywhere you can customize vehicles, you don't have to be in a
What's wrong with her now? This is some special ops stuff.
And yeah, this is actually the more customizable motorcycle. I believe the Shinobi was a very minimalistic motorcycle, but this one does have some alright customizations. Okay, what honestly changes with these three? I can't really see anything that honestly changes with those. What? But yeah, for the most part, there's kind of two huge cosmetic cities. There's the small one and Bozu, and then there's a little bit of difference between the three, it looks like.
You got great taste.
Okay, this vehicle has super brakes, which not all vehicles have the super brake, but it does have super brakes, so expect to pay $60,000 for the best brakes. Okay, there's a few exhaust options here. Sport exhaust, size for stock, street, racer, and quad exhaust. Oh damn, that's the only one of 4, it looks like. That's cool. Definitely obviously doing that one. So I usually just do the bottom options. Alright, front mud guards, there's a good bit here, it looks like. Seems like less than 10, or exactly 10. Alright, 9, it looks like, size for stock. Racer and regular, secondary, and carbon. And by regular, I mean primary. Arc, secondary carbon variants as well. And scoop with secondary carbon as well. So in a sense, there's basically 3 different front mud guards. Alright, a few front seat options aside for stock. Seems to be a little bit of difference in the black coloring or something for the Ridge and Diamond Racer ones there. Oh, there's some like diamond art and stuff too, so I guess that's what probably changes if the like Bozu thing and whatnot. I was wondering earlier. It's not the easiest to see in third person necessarily, but especially in first person, it should be easy to know. I'll just go with simple jazz one. I'll do that to Oscar meat for the colored ones, obviously. And 10 liveries, obviously aside for none. Reaver here, very simplistic one, just has a good few things of text saying Reaver, essentially. Simple white stripe one there, simple black stripe one there, simple yellow one there, and then blue. Obviously, the main difference is being just the color on those 4 stripe ones. For one that puts a lot more color on the motorcycle, for a more detailed livery, there's digital camo, redwood, prolapse, zero, and sprunk. So I would say the last few of these are the more detailed ones, and then these first few are the more like minimalistic liveries in this case. Sometimes it's kind of sporadic throughout the order, but it's pretty easy to know which ones are more simple and then ones that are more detailed. I'm gonna go my sprunk. But yeah, size for stock, there's art, secondary, and carbon. So basically 3 versions of that. Track 1, carbon version, and then racer and a carbon version. So it seems only that first one there kind of has a secondary option. All the other ones are basically just primary or carbon for the later couple. I might just have to do the lime green on this to go with the like sprunk livery. Either lime green or like a dew yellow I'll probably do. One of the two. Okay, do I want to go dew yellow or do I want to just go my crew color or something? Okay, the carbon one actually seems to have a little bit of like secondary color in there for that like rear mudguard. But yeah, dew yellow reminds me of like Mountain Dew with the dew, obviously, and that's another like lemon lime like soda kind of thing. So I think it's only appropriate to do the lime green and like the dew yellow for primary and then secondary. I'm gonna do a matte lime green here to kind of change it up a little. Yeah, I'll do a matte for primary and then I'll do that classic dew yellow because obviously there's not a dew yellow for matte. Because I feel the matte contrasts a bit better with the livery compared to the classic one. So I decided I would change it up there. And obviously I want my crew emblem that I usually use, obviously. I know it's not fitting on a lot of the vehicles, but like it's my crew emblem that I tend to put on every vehicle. Alright, this also has super transmission, because not every vehicle is just super transmission. So I expect to pay 50,000 instead of like 40,000 for transmission. Turbo. And wheels and then windshields, apparently. That's good. I guess I'll go to Webs for the Western representation with the W and stuff. That's kind of how that's honestly kind of how I do my wheels for some reason. Because I don't have much of another theme to think of or anything.
This is the same stuff they use on armored cars, you know.
And windshields, I think, are basically like the Los Santos tuners with the glass, with how you can color them. But yeah, windshield is basically just the stuff you can do in the Los Santos tuners with the glass, essentially. Okay, you can do a half one. What does half even do? I don't even feel it gets rid of any of it necessarily. Seems some of the like glass arches there or something, so maybe it gives a little bit more glass or something. I don't know. Here it doesn't have. Alright. There's red, green, blue, yellow, iridescent for half. There's a regular half, and then there's those like same few colors for the stock one. And these last couple seem to be more unique ones here. The short Bozu. The short Bozu windshield. Which actually seems to add a little bit of like livery and stuff as well, which is cool. And there's a full one as well, which has a little bit more livery even it looks like, and then a bit more glass and whatnot. But definitely go to some of these more simple looking ones here with the glass here, and then go to full Bozu one here. So essentially I'm saying I'm not putting color on it, because I typically just go my bottom options, because it's just a bunch of cosmetic stuff after all. Yo, I really like the headlights on this. It's like 3 bars essentially. It's kind of like a Roman numeral 3 in a way. It's pretty cool. But yeah, like I mentioned, this is a 6th place lap time when I was talking about the time trial and stuff, and it's also actually the #1 top speed vehicle. I believe it currently has an over 160 mile per hour that you can actually obtain with this vehicle, and its highest like top speed. It's got a very insane top speed, and that's like compared to like a high 130 or like a low 140 or something, I believe, with the Mantis Scout, which was the previous #1 top speed. If I remember from the Kyle Perico heist. If I remember from Ruffy 132 spreadsheet. So I think this is definitely one of the more impressive contract DLC vehicles, because it has that #1 top speed of the motorcycle class, which can definitely makes some very new, good potential and whatnot. Surprised I didn't go flying there. But apparently, from what I remember hearing from like the video I watched, it's actually kind of a bug or like a glitch or something that makes it like top speed as good as it is. Because yeah, 160-ish miles per hour is something that's pretty crazy compared to like the 130, 140. So I kind of don't really think it's necessarily intentional. From what I remember hearing from the video, it's kind of in the form of like a glitch. But yeah, there was apparently this glitch from like a few years ago, which might still be a thing, and it's like the Gargoyle speed glitch or something like that, where if you use them like the bigger wheel options for the motorcycle wheels for the like rear wheel, it actually makes the vehicle go faster or something if it's like a more beefier like wheel or something like that. From what I remember watching on Roughly 142's video, the reason the top speed is like that is because it essentially has that same like top speed glitch. Except you can actually get the like, except it actually already has like the top speed bug or whatever. You don't have to do like certain like rear wheels or something like that. So for whatever reason, this vehicle essentially has like the Gargoyle speed glitch, but with any wheel, like with any like motorcycle wheel type, essentially. For why it has like a very insane top speed. So apparently, because it's in the form of a glitch, it could be patched, of course, with Expand Enhanced or with a like next DLC or something like that. If the like 160 plus mile per hour is completely unintentional. And yeah, I think the Gargoyle, like, I think the regular Gargoyle kind of the death bike as well with like the rear wheels, like some of the beefier rear wheels. I think those also get to like 160-ish miles per hour if I remember. Maybe like 170 or something. So yeah, because it's along those lines of top speed, but it's like with any like wheel type and stuff, it could maybe get fixed. But if it's like other motorcycles and they don't fix it, then this is going to be a very good top speed motorcycle, maybe for a long while. Seems to wheelie pretty good as well, it doesn't seem to go back all that much. Even at like a low speed, perhaps. And yeah, the lap time isn't bad either, being a 6th place, but obviously it could have definitely been a better lap time, but because of the insane top speed, I wouldn't mind a 6th place lap time, quite frankly. Oh, what the? It's hard for my character to fall off there for a while, too. Yeah, sorry if I sound like shit, my throat's a bitch right now. But it seems so easy to like go back that much with the wheelie if you're like obviously in air or if you're at real low speed. But if you're in air or real low speed, it seems like that's gonna be the only couple situations where you wanna like wheelie too much. So it seems you can do some good wheelies at pretty fast speeds and whatnot. And yeah, wheelies is what you need, obviously, for that really good speed. That's with like 95% motorcycles in the game. So honestly, I definitely say this would probably be one of the top couple contract DLC vehicles I would say to probably get from my first impressions already and from what I've heard. Like, look at this insane top speed right now, holy shit. But again, apparently it's a glitch for the top speed, so it could be patched. It's not like anything particular you have to do for it. The glitch is just already in the vehicle or something as when you first get it. So no matter what, it will have this good speed as long as you have like all the engine upgrades and stuff, I imagine. And, you know, look at the speed even without a wheelie, and that's pretty high. That's very good even. I guess it's literally the #1 top speed. So this would definitely be a very fun motorcycle for highway driving. It seems I should be hitting 163. But yeah, I went lime green and then the yellow, so to go with my secondary, I'll be doing the yellow headlights. Alright, 10,000, and I gotta see what I unlocked in the info section or whatever. Speaking of info section, I really hope they have like a benefits section, like Reddit Online, like the benefits section kind of thing for the 9th gen version of Grand Theft Auto Online for XP and Enhanced or whatever. I really hope they have a benefits section in this game. Because like this game could really use a benefits section like with Reddit Online. Because like the Reddit streams are so much easier to do, I feel, because of the like images and stuff. But yeah, I got a dark vapid LED. So I'll be getting that here. And honestly, I think the yellow is like a good color with those lights, because like I said, it reminds me of a like 3 in Roman numerals, and a huge color with Grand Theft Auto 3 is like gold, like yellowish, like gold, I would say. So because of the like 3 bars, I feel with the lighting, it kind of reminds me of Grand Theft Auto 3 in a sense, if you do like the yellow color or like the golden shower on the lights. It's just a personal little like kind of thing I think about coloring it like yellow and gold and here whatnot here because of the like 3 lines and whatnot. Oh, and yeah, still gotta do test track things as well, like I typically do. And I really want to see it on the like streets though. I really like this vehicle when I'm driving it this long though. I really hope they don't like patch the speed thing because apparently it's in the form of a glitch though. So I really hope they don't patch it in Expand Enhanced or something or a feature update. It's like that's quite fun, in my opinion. And it's not like necessarily all that game breaking either. But I don't know, maybe it is actually kind of game breaking if it's like the only one within like the 160 miles per hour that you don't need to like do a certain setup for or something. But yeah, maybe this will definitely improve some of the top speed I was talking about if for some reason all that was improving. Yeah, I'm not gonna wheelie here and stuff. I feel out kind of ruin these corners and whatnot. So I'm gonna do it all without wheeling. Obviously, wheeling will give better top speed and whatnot. Oh, damn, I just got a new best there, apparently. But I think that top speed definitely allowed me to get that new best by, like, around a second. Which I think my previous best was, like, a BR8 or something from, like, the open wheel class or something, so that's definitely pretty good. And honestly, there probably would have been better moments there. I could have done more wheelies and stuff like that. Like, obviously, I could have done a wheelie for like all those straights if I wanted to. So I could have maybe shaved it down a bit as well. Yeah, I definitely don't really remember getting anything that crazy with the Shinobi even. And right, I still have to actually go to the auto shop. I still haven't talked about those discounts, not those discounts, but those money opportunities yet. I decided to customize the vehicle before doing that. I swear those expanded handstand and upgrades better compared to something like that, that's for sure. And obviously better because it's on better hardware and stuff. But yeah, a lot of different stuff with the auto shop is also on a 2 times like money RP or just a regular 2 times money. But yeah, something I really want to bring up here is with the contracts. Now, if you don't have a contract you like, obviously you can like go on to one of them, select it, and go outside, and then you can cancel your contract with Santa. But I'll call her here, and I don't think she'll pick up because yeah, she's busy because she's in the interior. It wouldn't make sense to be able to do it in the interior necessarily. But if you don't want to do any of the ones on there for some reason, you can go to Santa, cancel contract. And even if you're not necessarily doing it just to be able to like but yeah. Shitty throat, goddammit. But yeah. Even if you do like all the contracts on your screen, there is one that's way better than the other ones. That's known as the Union Depository Contract. But yeah, the Union Depository Contract, that's one contract that's kind of a way better payout than all the other ones, because it actually pays out $600,000 on double money right now, instead of the usual $300,000. And like these ones are usually like $150,000 to $200,000, I think. But yeah, money, the Union Depository contract I would say is much worth doing over other ones. So if you want to get easy Union Depository contracts, just select one that's non-Union Depository, go outside and then cancel the contract, and then keep trying to get a Union Depository contract. However, though, you can't replay the same contract for a set amount of time though, so once you do a Union Depository contract, then it's probably best to do at least one other contract, and then maybe you can do another Union Depository, or maybe it's like a 1 to 3 hour cooldown or something like that. That's kind of strategy I would say with the, like, robbery contracts here, which is definitely the #1 money opportunity that you can do for the current event week. Because obviously it's not going to be as good as Kyle Perico in like any week really, but like 600,000, or if you take out the 10% cut of KDJ Santa, that's really 540,000. You can get that in like 30 minutes for a Union Depository contract, and then doing another one that's kind of like around $1 million per hour for these contracts. And not only that, with the new contract DLC, they made it where you can actually get reputation for the carving now for these contracts and whatnot, so it's also the best way to get reputation and also get some decent coin, decent money as well. So this is definitely the thing to do this event week, with the extra double money incentive, in addition to the new reputation that you can now get for them in the contract update. This thing here is also worth mentioning. The exotic exports is also on a 2x money. And RP, I believe, as well, but it's probably just regular RP, not the reputation RP. I think the only reputation thing going on right now is for the Pursuit series, as I mentioned earlier. But yeah, there's 2x money on the exotic exports list. And I imagine you get double money on like all these different vehicles here, and maybe double money for completing the whole entire list if you can manage to find all 10 of them in like a day or something like that. Because I think they last a real life day for the like exotic list there. And then I think these vehicles here, are also on like a 2x money. I want to say it's more maybe like make like 60 to like 100-ish, like $1,000 or something, depending on like the vehicle or something. However, that's if you deliver it yourself. If you have these people do it for you, I think they damage the vehicle a lot, because obviously GTA AIs can't drive for shit essentially. But yeah, there should be double money on these vehicles as well, because it's basically every like money opportunity with the auto shop that's on 2x money right now for the last couple days of the event week. But yeah, honestly, it might be better off to like let the staff deliver them, even though they damage the vehicle, and you'll get less money, because you can now also get reputation for these as well. So it might actually be better to like have the staff do them for you, essentially. I feel I should really do that. I think I should really like assign these people to do that if that's a thing that you can do, which I think is a thing. But yeah, between these different things that are on double money in the auto shop, this is definitely #1 here. I would say the exotic exports is the second best of those money opportunities you can do, because both of those you have to do. And then #3, if you don't want to like do the like auto like shop delivery stuff yourself, have the staff do them, which is probably more efficient. Because obviously if you do them yourself and you're not huge on doing them, a lot of vehicles like these will probably just sit in here for like long whiles and whatnot. So obviously having AIs do them will circulate passive income, which especially on a double is nice. So I think that's basically everything worth mentioning here. But yeah, so double rewards on the robbery contracts and exotic exports, plus 2x money on auto shop client jobs. Probably contracts was the board thing, like the board with the 3 different things on it. So exports was the chalkboard with the 10 vehicles on it, and then the auto shop client jobs were the 2 vehicles. And yeah, for the 10 different vehicles, you basically have to go like all across the map and stuff. It's not the most worth doing, I would say, and to like go all out your way to get the vehicles. I would just go for the 10 exotic vehicles if you like find them on like the way of doing other things in free mode, like the robbery contract finales and stuff like that. Or like the setup missions more so, because those are the ones in free mode. So basically, I would just go for the exotic export vehicles if you actually find them. I wouldn't go out your way to find them. I wouldn't go out of your way to find them necessarily. And yeah, just have discounts left now. But yeah. Those looking to customize move exotic export vehicles can pick up an auto shop. And modifications and stuff are 30% off. But I have the cheapest one, which was through Prime Gaming, and I feel the cheapest location is actually a pretty good location. I feel the locations don't matter too much because they're all in the city. And there's not like a huge presence of gang violence, I believe it or not, for the Strawberry area here. But yeah, the most expensive one, for example, is the Mesa 1,920,000 instead, with like the 30% off discount right now. It's 1,344,000, so almost 600,000 savings there. But yeah, style, tint, emblem, that's all cosmetic stuff, obviously. Staff members. But yeah, like I said, with the staff members, they basically can be used to like make your like auto shop into passive income if you want to have them delivered to like different vehicles that get delivered over there, like that red like BF Club, and then that like green like SUV that was in my like area earlier. So they are highly worth it if you want to not do the deliveries yourself. As long as you're fine with them damaging the vehicle and getting less payout, it's still passive income nevertheless. And with the new reputation that you can get through the like different vehicles that get delivered, because that wasn't a thing with the original Los Santos tuners, that's a thing that was added with contracts. It could be even more worth doing that now, because you might be able to get passive reputation now with that being a thing, instead of just sitting in like the auto shop or whatever. Or not saying the auto shop, but saying the LS car meet, like this green thing or whatever, in the test track. Which used to be the best passive way of making, like, reputation. And yeah, personal quarters, like with other properties, that basically allows you to, like, spawn in the auto shop. Which, in my opinion, the auto shops are not necessarily one of the greatest spawns unless you really like to do the robbery contract finales or really like to do the different money opportunities there. Honestly, with them all being like double money and stuff right now, the personal quarters is really useful right now, but the more useful personal quarters, in my opinion, are with like properties that let you use like different like air vehicles and stuff like that for like good point A to point B transportation and whatnot. So honestly, personal quarters can be nice depending on your situation, but definitely not one of the better ones in my opinion. And yeah, the car lift seems to basically give you a second vehicle instead of being limited to just one, it sounds like, so that's obviously more worth it for more passive income, or if you want to deliver them yourself, that's more vehicles you can deliver. And then it seems you can get the Los Santos Car Meet, like, membership here. So you might be able to save a little bit on the LS Car Meet membership, but it's not really all that expensive, and you can just do that at the LS Car Meet, but that's something you can also do, technically. Especially these last ones are the ones that take advantage of for the renovations, because they're not just purely cosmetic, they actually do things. And yeah, the description is auto shop, all its renovations, modifications, and upgrades.
I'm having an okay vacation. Sorry, I'm on the other side of town. Can I pick it up? You were obsessed with health, but then they rave about
But yeah. But yeah, on the newswire, it was the auto shop, all renovations, modifications, and upgrades. So if there's any renovation, upgrades, or anything like that in the inside of the auto shop, then those should be on 30% as well. But I don't think there is any like upgrades to do in the inside of the auto shop. I think they're all like on the website. Alright. And for like the last small discount, there's also a 25% off of the Coil Compact EMP launcher. And yeah, I did that Union Depository contract, so yeah, my weapons are kind of like on there from there. But yeah, this Compact EMP launcher here is a 25% off discount. It's basically what allows, it's basically just a regular like grenade launcher, or more so the regular compact grenade launcher, except it's for like EMP grenades instead of like regular grenades. And obviously EMP is like electric magnetic pulse or something like that, so it can slow down vehicles and stuff like that. But because it's in the form of a grenade and it like arches and stuff like that, it's not the easiest to hit with it. So the concept seems really cool. But yeah, the concept seems really cool, but it's probably really difficult to use it and whatnot. Something you can do though is you can use it on motorcycles, and with this being the new #1 top speed motorcycle, that could mean some new potential. But yeah, because you can use it on motorcycles and this is the #1 top speed motorcycle, that could be some brand new potential for using this compact EMP launcher on a vehicle at least. Like while you're on a vehicle. So because it is new number But yeah, because there's a new #1 top speed motorcycle, you can definitely get to your like targets and stuff surely faster with this over the other motorcycles in the game right now. So that could definitely give some new potential for the compact EMP launcher. So who knows, this new Western Reaver might make it more worth it in the slightest. But still, it's definitely still hard to like hit certain like targets and stuff like that. So obviously the concept sounds pretty cool, but it really isn't, believe it or not. But yeah, sounds cool, but it's not really all that useful, unfortunately, contrary to what it sounds like. And yeah, compact EMP launcher, you need to get that through like the agency, through like the weapon workshop or whatever at the agency. Actually, it's called the armory. You need the armory at the agency to be able to get it. So it is a pretty exclusive weapon. It is a pretty exclusive weapon you can only get at the agency. But like I said, it's not really all that useful because like it's in the form of a grenade, so it's hard to hit your targets to slow them down and stuff in the first place. And yeah, there's still vehicle discounts stuff to go over. Yeah, sorry the stream's late at this point, but yeah. As can probably be told when I'm doing the stream and stuff, my throat's being a bitch and stuff. But yeah, I already talked about the Pegasi or Astron when I showed off the like test track vehicle, so I won't be talking about it again. So if you want to know like the stuff that's worth knowing about the Astron, go to that part where I talk about the test track vehicles, which was earlier. Same goes with the Same goes with the Vector. I already talked about that when showing off the test track vehicles. The Ubermax Cypher, though, this vehicle is not a good tuner vehicle because it's part of Los Santos tuners. It's in a tuner subclass, which means it can be used in those like street and pursuit races. But yeah, even when it first came out, it wasn't really all that good, and it's probably even worse now because of the nerfs with the tuner vehicles and the contract DLC. So I would skip out on the Ubermax Cypher. There's nothing really all that worth mentioning. And even the customizations aren't really worth mentioning because all the tuners have good customizations. So I would pass on the Cypher and not really want to be useful in any way, shape, or form, as far as I remember. And yeah, I already talked about the Wagner here when going over the test track vehicles, but the Coil Cyclone. Coil Cyclone is a measly 25% off. I would probably wait on like a 40% off discount, unless it's like a really good performing vehicle, which I'll have to see. Yeah, Cyclone's either a supercar or a sport car, definitely. Okay, it's a supercar. And I'll try to race out a top speed of the Cyclone, and it's not good. But yeah. Going off of roughly 132 spreadsheet, the lap time for the Cycloneer is a 29th place, which is below average on the lap time, and then top speed is even worse. Top speed for the Cyclone is actually 47th place, kind of only being above the like Coil Voltic. And the reason it has such a bad top speed is because it's an electric vehicle. That's kind of a typical electric vehicle like trays. They tend to have pretty bad top speeds apparently. So you're not going to get any good performance out of the Cyclone, so you'll only want it for like customization kind of things. I already mentioned Dubache Wagner again. Go back to like the test track vehicles if need be. And Chameleon's not on discount, just squished up at the moment. I think this Benny is an elitist from here. Yeah, there's a couple discounts apparently on Benny's website this time. And it doesn't seem as any of the stock vehicles they're in the form of like upgrades of these stock vehicles, which is obviously the better discounts because the upgrades tend to cost more than the stock vehicle. Alright. Peyote custom apparently, the Gauntlet Classic custom. And that seems to be it for the Benny's discounts. Just 2 Benny custom vehicles in discount. I'll start with Gauntlet Classic Custom here, because it technically appears first. But yeah, the customized example here, the Gauntlet Classic Custom is a 30% off, and that is a muscle car. And that is back from the Los Santos Summer Special, which was like a mid-2020 DLC vehicle. But yeah. Gauntlet Classic Custom, I believe it was, for lap time. That's actually a 22nd place in lap times. The lap time's not really that great for the muscle car class, being on the top 10. And then Gauntlet Classic Custom, though, is actually a 3rd place top speed. So it is within the top 3 for top speed, and that is putting the contract DLC vehicles into account now. So it was 2nd place before the contract, but now it's 3rd, so it's still within the top 3. So it's definitely some pretty good performance in the top speed department, so definitely can't go wrong with the upgrade being on a 30% off. And obviously I can't show the amount of the upgrade because I can't really show that on the website. And the customized example here with the Vapid Peyote Custom is a measly 20% off. But yeah, I don't know why they did such low percentages for a lot of like discounts this time around, but this one's a measly 20% for the upgrade price, which obviously is better than nothing, but like why don't they just do their typical like 40% off discount for it or something? But I gotta find out what like the performance, not performance, but like the like classing of it is. I think the regular peyote is like a Sport Classic or something, so it might be a Sport Classic. Alright, yeah, Peyote Custom's a Sport Classic. But yeah, the Peyote Custom for a lap time is apparently a 27th place for the Sport Classic class, which is terrible for Sport Classic class. And top speed is a 22nd place. So you're not getting good performance at all for the Peyote Custom here. No good performance, you're just getting good customizations. Whereas this is actually good for top speed. So if there's one discount to get for the event week on Benny's, it's the Gauntlet Classic Custom upgrade. And the last discount should be on Elitist here for the Bezra. And yeah, that's not on discount, just glitched up at the moment. Instead of being $1,150,000, it is $805,000 for the Bezra here. And that's a 30% off discount. So 30%, you're basically saving like $300,000, which is okay, I guess, for a Pegasus vehicle. But yeah. But yeah, the Baser is basically just like a standard jet. It doesn't have like any weaponry or anything like that. So basically it's just a very good like point A to point B vehicle. It's only really, yeah. It's only really worth having all that much, I would say, if you want to collect like all the different Pegasus vehicles. It's definitely not worth having as like a personal aircraft vehicle. It's not worth doing a personal aircraft vehicle for the Baser. It's not worth having it in your hangar or anything. it's just worth collecting as like a Pegasus vehicle if you're big on getting like all the different Pegasus vehicles in the game or something like I am. I'll go over performance of it, I guess, here. Going off a roughly 132 spreadsheet. But yeah. Base drive for lap time in the planes class is 9th place. And top speed for the base ride in the planes class is 10th place. So it is within the top 10, within the last couple placements of top 10 for the planes class. And obviously it can go in the air and stuff, so it's a very good transport vehicle. Aside for that, nothing really worth it though. But yeah. Last but not least, a little rundown of the vehicles here. 30% off Tuner's Auto Shop. Tuner's Auto Shop modifications and upgrades, 30% off. 25% off the Coil Cyclone. 20% off of the Vapid Peyote Custom. 30% off the Bravado Gauntlet Classic Custom. 30% off the Urmux Cypher. 30% off Emperor Vector. 30% off P-Fister Astron. 25% off the Bache Wagner. 30% off Western Basra. And 25% off the Coil Compact EMP Launcher. So yeah, that should have been all the discounts covered there. But yeah, that is finally going to be it for the stream. Sorry it was a bit of a longer one than I was hoping it to be, because my throat was literally dying and stuff in this stream. It still is. But yeah, that will finally be it for the stream. Next stream will probably be the next GTA Event Week stream, I imagine. Because I don't really see myself, or actually I'll probably do Vice City Definitive Edition, obviously. Because I kind of brought that back, obviously, after fucking COVID and shit. Yeah, that's finally gonna be it for the stream. Hope you enjoyed.